The Hulk is a superhero from Marvel Comics. He was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and first showed up in a comic book in May 1962. The Hulk is a character with two personalities. One is Hulk, a big, strong, green-skinned guy with immense physical strength. The other is Dr. Robert Bruce Banner, who is a weak, shy, and emotionally reserved physicist. They both share the same body and usually don't like each other. The Hulk, despite preferring to be alone, has a lot of friends and family in the stories. This includes Betty Ross, who Hulk is in love with, his best friend Rick Jones, his cousin She-Hulk, and therapist Doc Samson. According to Stan Lee, the Hulk is usually green, but his color has changed over time. The character has appeared in TV shows and movies, played by actors like Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno, Eric Bana, Edward Norton, and Mark Ruffalo in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Hulk's first comic series ended after 6 issues in March 1963. Stan Lee wrote the stories, and Jack Kirby drew the first 5 issues, while Steve Ditko drew and inked the 6th. But, right after, the Hulk showed up in another comic, The Fantastic Four number 12 in March 1963. A few months later, he became one of the first members of the superhero team called the Avengers. He was in the first 2 issues of the comic series in September and November 1963. After that, he appeared as both an enemy in issue number 3 and a friend in issue number 5, January to May 1964. During this time, one of the creators of the Hulk, Jack Kirby, got a letter from a college dorm saying they picked the Hulk as their official mascot. This made Kirby and Stan Lee, the other creator, realize that their character was popular among college-age readers. About a year and a half after the original Hulk series ended, the Hulk started appearing in a comic called Tales to Astonish, beginning with issue number 60 in October 1964. In this new series, Stan Lee wrote the stories, Steve Ditko drew them, and George Roussis did the inking. Other artists like Jack Kirby, Gil Kane, Bill Everett, John Buscema, and Marie Severin later contributed to this run. This series introduced new villains for the Hulk, including the Leader and the Abomination. The Tales to Astonish run continued until issue number 102 in April 1968, when the comic was renamed The Incredible Hulk Volume 2. It ran until 1999, when Marvel ended the series and started a new one called Hulk number 1. In 1967, Marvel filed for a trademark for The Incredible Hulk, and it was officially registered in 1970. From 1974 to 1978, Len Wein wrote the series, initially working with Herb Trimpe and later with Sal Buscema. In October to November 1974, introduced Wolverine as an antagonist, who later became one of Marvel Comics' most popular characters. In 1977, Marvel launched a second Hulk title called The Rampaging Hulk, initially in black and white as a flashback series. After 9 issues, it was renamed The Hulk, and printed in color. In 1977, 2 Hulk TV movies were a big hit, so they made a Hulk TV series that ran from 1978 to 1982. This show was very successful and made the Hulk popular beyond just comic book readers. The show introduced the famous Hulk phrase, "Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry." Bill Mantlo became the writer for the Hulk comic series for 5 years, starting with issue number 245 in March 1980. Explored the idea that Bruce Banner, the Hulk's human side, had suffered child abuse. Later Hulk writers Peter David and Greg Pak said these stories influenced how they wrote the character. Mantlo left the series, and John Byrne took over, finishing with the wedding of Bruce Banner and Betty Ross in his final issue. He revisited the child abuse storylines, expanding the damage caused, and showed Banner suffering from dissociative identity disorder. In 1998, Peter David disagreed with Marvel's decision to kill off Betty Ross, Bruce Banner's longtime love. Marvel used this as a chance to bring back the original Savage Hulk. David didn't agree and left Marvel. The comic was cancelled again in March 1999 with issue number 474, and a new series called Hulk started the following month. The new writer, Paul Jenkins, explored the Hulk having multiple identities. Bruce Jones followed him, featuring Banner being chased by a secret conspiracy and help. The series went on hiatus, and Peter David returned to write a limited series called Hulk Thing, Hard Knock. After a tie-in to the House of M storyline and an epilogue, Peter David left the series again, saying he needed to do non-Hulk work for his career.